Hi, thanks for watching and I appreciate your time. I just want to give you a quick overview of how you compare to your competition, why they're beating you in Google search results, and things you can do to close that gap and overtake them. So I've got your website pulled up here and I like the layout. You've got the drop down menus with all the options that people can quickly find what they're searching for. I think the best part about it is you've got real pictures of actual people in the company. This helps build a personal connection. A lot of other companies just use stock file photos and paste them on their page. As far as Google is concerned, when it's looking to rank a website, it's just using two different factors. One's going to be the content. So the layout of the pictures and the text doesn't really matter as much because being a computer, the first thing Google is going to do is just going to count all the words on the page. While it's counting, it's looking for keywords, which is anything that somebody's going to be searching for, which is usually a service and then also the area that they're searching for it in. Now this is where the number of the words on the page really comes into play because as a rule of thumb, you're usually allowed about one keyword for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. Anything more than that can be considered what's called keyword stuffing, and you actually get penalized. So you can imagine if you had a web page that was blank and all you did was list the services that you offer and the locations all across the state, you actually would not rank very highly in Google for that. The second thing that Google is using is what's called the page authority or the popularity, which is basically other websites that refer back to your website. You can kind of equate that to if you do a really good job for a customer and they tell their neighbor, that neighbor is going to think pretty highly of you. But then if 10 or 100 other people tell that same neighbor, then they're going to have a high authority of you in their mind, which is the same thing that Google uses, except with other websites. So to show you this, I just pull up the search roofing in Worcester, Mass. And the first thing that pops up is going to be what we call the Google Map Pack. Now, a lot of people think that this is solely based on the proximity of where I'm searching from and your business, but it actually has a lot more to do with the authority of your website to rank inside of here. Also, in order to get listed in this map, you need to fill out what's called the Google My Business profile, which is free. Any owner can do it. It's actually located inside your Google Maps app now, so you can do it right from your smartphone. So then below the map pack, we have what's called the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority of your website, the higher up on the list you're going to rank. So what I did is I just grabbed the top 3 roofers that I found. You can disregard any of the directory sites like Angie's and Yelp, those don't count. And then I put them into this program that shows me both ranking factor that Google uses. So for instance, on your site, Google has found 59 keywords and 154 of those referring domains or other referring websites back to yours. So if we do a quick look at the competition, just for the numbers, we're finding 166 keywords and 63 domains for G&O Construction. On Top Roofing has 105 and 51, and then Seven Hills has 227 and 67. So on paper, it looks like we're doing a little bit better over here on you than some of the others, but this is a really good example of how it's quality over quantity. So starting with the keywords, if we click into here, you can see all the keywords or phrases that Google is finding on your page, along with the volume, which is the number of times that's searched per month. So for instance, for Northeast Roofing, it's searched 200 times, and in Google, you're ranking number 10 on the website list. So the object here is to do some research, find out the top number of keywords that are being searched per month, and make sure that we include those on your site, as long as they're relative to your location as well as your business profession. Now, the other part of this is what's called like the referring domains, or those links that I was talking about. So there's 2 different types of them. The first is a link or a backlink, which is any mention or link from your website from another website. So this could be a news article written about you, a blog post written about you, one of those sites that says, the top 10 roofers in this area, something to that effect. Now, this is, again, a really good example of how it's quality over quantity, because, for instance, if you had a referral from, say, Pizza Hut, Google knows that you're not slinging pizzas, you're a roofer, so it wouldn't give that any authority because it has a rank here of how much weight Google uses that link back to yours. So we can look at, even though you have 154 of them, which is almost twice as much as many of the other competitors, you have a lot that don't carry a lot of weight or authority in the eyes of Google. So they're not really helping you other than just being a number, but they're not actually adding any authority to the site. Then the second part of this situation is called a citation, which is any of your phone number address or names being listed on another site, like Yellow Pages, Super Pages, Yelp, those types of things. Now, the good news about these types, citations are free to get. You just need to take the time to find them, register on that website, and then fill out all the business information so you can start adding some more of those. Unfortunately, they're not weighted as heavily. However, they do add to the total count as far as domain ranking. Now, I know I just threw out a whole lot of information, but I wanted to try to keep this as brief as possible. So if there's anything you want to go over in more detail, I'd be happy to talk about how we can boost those numbers for you and even start to beat out the competition and ranking. Just all you need to do is, if you want to reach back out, you can reply to the email, you can give me a call, let me know what time and day works best for you, and I'll be happy to make myself available. Again, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity.